Evolution. We've been doing a lot of debating with people about evolution lately, and they're not too happy, but that's just the way it goes when you're teaching something or trying to support something that has no validity anywhere. Evolution, to many right now, they're believing it because they feel it's what the science community supports. They're looking at everybody and say, well, the universities teach it, and this person says it, and that person says it, so they believe it. And then when you ask them, say, well, when did you ever see any evolution take place? When did you see it happen? They go with blank stares. They ain't got anything. Some of them will say, well, you remember the coronavirus, how it continued to mutate into various variations? Or they'll say, well, Darwin saw the finches with longer beaks. Or they'll say, well, when children are born, they're different from their parents. They go with all these different variations. Bacteria resistant to antibiotics, and they go on and on. They'll say there was a fossil record. This proves evolution. All these type of things. Some of them will say, well, this is the best explanation we got. That's all we need. What do y'all got? All you got is fairy tales, they say. This is the best explanation. It's almost like they're looking for an explanation other than God. But all that talk of coronavirus and this and that, the virus still remained a virus. Humans still remain humans. Finches remain finches. Bacteria remain bacteria. Everything remains according to its kind, as the Bible says. You see, to prove evolution, you have to prove that one species turns into a whole other species. And none has ever seen that, witnessed that, proven that, because it's simply false. It's never happened, never will happen. Evolution is just a fraud. They look to the fossil record. Fossil record does not simulate evolution. It only allows scientists to tell stories. In no way you're going to look at a fossil and show a fossil turning from one species to another. It just doesn't happen. None of that is proof. And so they want to name these failed examples that have no relevance to proving any evolution. How things came into existence is a very important question to be answered. We know, and it cannot be denied, and I'm going to just say this as being, just put it on a, I guess, objective level somewhat. We can say the first cause, okay? The first cause had to have no beginning. If you say the Big Bang had no beginning, was the first cause, it had to have no beginning. God, he had to have no beginning. Well, the Bible shows that God has no beginning. So either way you look at it, you're looking at a source that had no beginning. But when you look at things, everything, all you're seeing is design. You're seeing laws of physics, laws of nature. You're seeing all these processes, design and law. All these things require a designer, someone to put them in order. The millions of nerves, or the million nerves that's in the eye, and somebody had to put that in there. I mean, to say it just all happened is nonsensical. It's not even logical. And the only reason it's being even considered is because of certain people saying it. That's just the only reason. Other than that, nobody would even consider it. It's just a pure lie. And why we have to even give it any attention is ridiculous. In fact, even it's shown that not all scientists go along with this. Evolution thing here. It says a scientific dissent from Darwinism, is a short statement that reads, this is an article that I found, that reads, we are skeptical of claims for the ability of random mutation and natural selection to account for the complexity of life. Careful examination of the evidence for Darwinian theory should be encouraged. Now, this is a statement of dissent from 1,043 scientists that believe that this this evolution theory is just being put out there because of peer pressure, not because it's real. It's not being given proper scrutiny that deserve to examine whether it's real or not. They're dissenting from that it's a fact. In fact, as a biochemist, became skeptical about Darwinism or evolution when I was confronted with the extreme intricacies of the genetic code and its many most intelligent strategies to code, decode, and protect his information, said Dr. Marcus Eberlin, founder of the Thomson Mass Spectrometry Laboratory and a member of the National Academy of Sciences in Brazil. So what this shows is that they realize that even biochemists realize that when you're confronted with the complexity of everything, evolution just doesn't fit the bill. It's not able to examine or prove that it doesn't give a proper explanation. It doesn't fit in what they're seeing. Now, the list of signatories now includes, of these dissenters, 15 scientists from the National Academies of Science in countries including Russia, Czech Republic, Brazil, and the United States, as well as from the Royal Society. Many of the scientists are professors or researchers at major universities and international research institutions, such as the University of Cambridge, London Natural History Museum, the Moscow State University, Hong Kong University, University in South Africa also, and ones in France and elsewhere, Yale, and others have signed this letter of dissent. And again, this article brings out peer pressure is what has brought about many people just acquiescing to evolution, bowing before it, instead of really being objective in realizing that it has no place in reality when it comes to how life began. So all scientists do not accept it, but many fall in line. And why? Because they don't want God. They want to be able to do as they want to do, as Psalms 14:1. That's why when you ask them questions like we talked about, they can't answer. Because it ain't about the answers, it ain't about the facts. It's about saying we don't want any responsibility to God. We want to do what we want to do. And any time people do that, it's never going to work out. Because who knows best? The creation or the one who made it all? The answer's obvious, isn't it? While they're looking at the fossil record, let's look at something else. Let's say you take 40 people, or how many people? 100 people. And let's say throughout the year, they go in this particular forest. And every time they come back, each one that comes back, they keep saying they see a bear in that forest. Now, each story is a little bit different about the color of the bear and kind of descriptions of it and everything. And, you get various degrees of certain descriptions. But when you look at all the stories, the 100 stories, so to speak, what is the common denominator? The common denominator is that what? They saw a bear in the forest, isn't that correct? That's what you call the core truth doctrine. The Bible says the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, the matter is established. So you have 100 witnesses. And even though they disagree on other things, they saw a bear. So look at human history, and we can see that same analogy happening. We have all these nations, and when you look at their civilization, what do they have? Gods and gods and gods and gods and gods. So here, the impact on history, on human society, is there's a God. That's the common denominator. That's the core truth. Now, the thing is this. What are the details? who is God? Who is that one God? Who is the real God? And the Bible helps us appreciate who it is. The Bible has credibility. You know, you talk about sometimes, you can tell when a book is documenting places, times, and dates, and prophecies, and it's just getting into detail, genealogies, that lends to credibility. And the Bible has all that. And it helps us to appreciate that the true God, as the Bible shows, the Tetragrammaton, YHWH, missing the vowels, that was supplied when the reader read it. Some say Yahweh, others say Jehovah. He's the Most High God. He is the God. And that's why, since he is the maker of all things, that's why when you go to the Bible, you do what it says, things work out. When you don't do what it says, they don't work out. And so really evolution is about whether you want to be rebellious or whether you want to do what's right. That's all it comes down to. And evolution is just pure fraud. It's the real fairy tale. It's the modern myth, as the other pagan nations used to have for themselves. This is the modern myth today, this evolution, which is the most craziest thing ever heard of. And yet people fall for it, all because they don't want to do what's right. They want to do as they see fit. And they want to work against the conscience that God made them. But again, nothing will work. Nothing will ever work on this earth unless everyone recognizes the true God, the Creator. That's just a simple reality. People deny God, show such ungratefulness to him. I mean, you're eating his food, drinking all his water up, soaking, breathing in all his air, enjoying his sun and rain, but no appreciation. How ungrateful. But again, until all humans respect God, every human on this earth, never be any peace. Everybody has to, once people respect it, things flow smoothly. So again, don't be deceived by things like this. I don't care who's saying it. The PhDs or whatever, they want to say evolution all day long. They want you to believe it because they said it. Just like many religious leaders. They want you to believe it because they said it. No, when you do the work, you do the thorough investigating, as the Bible shows, you see what a fraud this is. And so never lose faith in the Creator, in his word, and things will work out right.